Hi dreamer, welcome to Birmingham. Today, you're joining me at the Elyton Hotel in downtown Birmingham. This place is pretty cool and I'm excited to show you around. If you like hotel reviews, then please subscribe down below. I would love to have you here on this channel. I take you around to hotels that I stay at and we see what they have to offer and I rate them for you so you know where you want to stay on your next staycation. So this time, the Elyton in Birmingham. If you haven't ever been to Birmingham, it's actually a pretty cool town. It's kind of nestled amongst some hills in Alabama and it's only 2 hours outside of Atlanta. So fairly easy to get to depending on where you are in the States. Now this hotel is an autograph hotel in the Marriott portfolio. That means that it's independently owned, but it's still under the Marriott umbrella. There's about 200, perhaps a few more, located throughout the world. So quite a few, but not too many to saturate that much. Very interesting, all unique properties though. This one is located in the Empire Building that's pretty famous for the South. It was built in 1909 and back then it was actually the tallest structure for a very short period of time and it was actually the first steel structure in the South. So some pretty cool, rich history. It's located on what is lovingly referred to as the heaviest corner of the world, just because for a while there was 4 huge steel buildings that stood right on this corner. Nowadays, though, this hotel has been fully restored and the lobby is stunning. It still has all of its marble and it really makes an entrance. I'd love to have a little bit more information about how this hotel got its name, but I got really conflicting reviews about that and I don't want to steer you wrong. Some of the information that I read and from the hotel, they claim that the name came from an entrepreneur of Birmingham that was particularly famous. And another more in-depth article that I read was that Elyton was a community that was annexed into Birmingham in the early 1900s. Both stories probably have some truth to them. Maybe they're both true, but I don't 100% know. I am definitely not like the absolute best on my like history and tracking down like sources. So those are a couple of the options, but either way, this hotel definitely has roots deep here in Birmingham. Now, the inside of it, aside from the lobby, is definitely modern. The rooms are particularly modern. They have some older influences in the styling, but definitely modern surroundings and furnishings. It was kind of shocking whenever we came in. But original elevators, well, probably not original elevators, but older elevators that definitely like have some of that original flair to them too. So that was nice. Check-in couldn't have went smoother last night. Really good, nice valet service, wonderful check-in. Shout out to Tiffany at the front desk. You were amazing. And really have nothing bad to report at all. I love having a high floor and that was a nice surprise. 2 big windows in this room with really a pretty nice view considering you're downtown. I'd definitely give the check-in a 5 out of 5. And then the overall condition of this hotel, I can't find anything wrong with it. It has been meticulously restored. It is stunning. Even if you aren't staying here, maybe pop in the lobby, check out the marble. It's really beautiful. And this hotel has a couple restaurants, so you could always pop in to eat and check it out then. So I definitely give the condition of this hotel a 5 out of 5. Sometimes these hotels rooms, whenever they're this old, can definitely not be restored as correctly as they could be, but every detail really shows. The windows don't rattle. They seem to be sealed really well. That's a lot of times where the sticking points are. Definitely don't have that here. And the marble seems to be in really good condition. Also, the woodwork seems very lovingly taken care of. So, all positive things to say on the condition. Definitely a 5 out of 5. Now, the amenities. I wish I had a longer list to report here. Now, there is a fitness center. I do plan on checking it out. I didn't have time to pop in this morning before I headed off to work, but I will briefly pop in there on my way to dinner and just see how it is. There's a valet located in front of the hotel, which is nice, but it isn't 24 hours. That's not very common. I can probably count on one hand how many hotels I've stayed at ever that don't have a 24-hour valet service. It isn't available from about 11 p.m. at night all the way to like 6 a.m. the next morning, and you have to make arrangements with the front desk. That's just a little bit of a hassle. We'll see how it is in the morning because I have to leave particularly early, but I'm hopeful that it's not going to be too big of a deal, but I do wish it had 24-hour service. There's coffee and a fridge in this hotel, and I think for the caliber of hotel, a lot of times you'll end up with no coffee and just a mini bar, so it's really nice to have a fridge and a coffee station. So really like that. Amenities in the bathroom are nice, high-end options. Even though last time I stayed at a Marriott, I think I noted that all the scents of the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash were different, and they are still different in this one. Maybe that's a Marriott thing. Either way though, I really like the rum scented body wash that they have. Smells really good. This hotel also has 2 restaurants. So they have a rooftop bar open for dinner only. It's definitely where I'm going tonight. And they have the yard, which is fine dining that's open for dinner, and it's open for breakfast. I tried it out for breakfast this morning. What a pretty interior. Service was good also. Food was good, but not great. But prices were actually pretty reasonable considering that it's considered a fine dining restaurant. Overall, I probably would go back and have breakfast there. I met a colleague and they had a waffle and it looked pretty good. They said it was good. I had biscuits and gravy, which is kind of a hard dish to get exactly right, but I think they did pretty good. Coffee actually was really good too. Local blend had a really nutty taste to it. Really nice. I will be going to dinner here shortly, but first I think I'm going to give the amenities overall about a 4 out of 5 or so. We'll see if they can make that up whenever I rate the food overall. But the last category I want to mention before I head off and get some dinner at the rooftop bar, which is called Moonshine, super fun, is the staff. Everyone I've encountered has been very good, very professional, really nice. The valet was busy, and so the valet manager actually came out to greet me and take my keys, which is really nice, so I didn't have to stand there very long and wait. Really appreciate that whenever I came back from work earlier. I also had a little bit of a problem with my room, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but the staff handled that really professionally, and I really appreciated it. That's enough talking for now. I think it's dinner time, and we have a view to check out, a few stories up. Okay, just got back from dinner and I'm going to wrap up this video and tell you a little bit more about my experience here. Kind of getting a little bit of a migraine, so definitely going to try to keep this a little short. Okay. So obviously I went to dinner, so let's talk about the food. I started at Moonshine up on the roof, and I planned to have dinner there, but things went a little sideways. Service just wasn't good up there. I mean, it was bad. Also, I ordered a mojito, and it was also bad. And so I was like, let's cut my losses and go down to the yard for dinner. I can't recommend Moonshine up on the roof. The views were gorgeous, so if you want to go up there and admire enjoy the view and just hang out, you'll probably have an amazing time. But definitely don't go for the drinks or possibly the food. I have no idea. I didn't get a chance to try it. So back to the yard for dinner. As I mentioned earlier, I had breakfast there this morning and the breakfast was good. At dinner, service was even better. Really loved the bartender. So nice. And I had carpaccio that I didn't get a video of. By that point, was like so hungry that I ate it so fast and shoved it into my face, and there's nothing for you but an empty plate picture. My apologies. Then I had broccoli soup. Really good, very creamy, more like a broccoli bisque than broccoli cheese soup. Definitely had a little bit of a Parmesan flavor to it, but not the cheddar broccoli that you would normally think of. Pretty good, and I would definitely go back. I had 2 virgin mojitos there, and they topped my regular mojito that I had on the roof 10-1. So good. So I recommend the yard if you're staying here. That brings like the food to a score of about a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna cut it just a little bit because they do have moonshine on the roof and it just wasn't good. So that definitely factors into the experience. I didn't know earlier that they do have room service here, which is a nice touch. Moving on to the room. As I mentioned, it was really a shock to me how modern this room is. Really feels really modern. It has like a master switch for the lights. Has like a few vintage touches in here, but for the most part, really bright, modern design to it. Really enjoyed it. I have pretty well nothing bad to say about it except for a couple things. And those couple things are, one, there's like a high top desk setup. The chair is not too comfortable, and I don't know a whole lot of people that would want to work long term for it. For a couple hours, it's fine, but all day, not so good. I like that the shower had a faucet that was easy to reach from the shower head. That was nice. And the toilet's in a separate room. Also really nice. In general, I like the room. I thought it was a good size, and I don't really have anything else bad to say. It was very clean, except for just occasional couple hairs in the shower. I gave the room a 4 out of 5. Pretty good. So the last category is value. And this is always the one that you wait for because everyone wants to know what I paid. And this is the kicker because I paid a whopping $750 for 2 nights here in Birmingham, Alabama. Who knew? Turns out really expensive to stay here. Actually, it's not. This place is an anomaly, and you really gotta want to stay here to pay that kind of price tag. Value-wise, it's tough. I do think that it's a really nice hotel in a very historic building, and I understand that to keep an old building like this up and running, it has to cost a crazy amount. They also had daily housekeeping here, which is becoming more and more rare. So also expensive. I understand that as well. Where the value gets a plus, though, that you might actually think I would normally minus it, you might be surprised by this, but whenever I got to the room last night, it was pretty warm. The thermometer said that it was supposed to be 70 in here, and it was 74. And whenever I went to the front desk this morning, they were so apologetic and handled it right away. That is the true star for like value for me. You might think that I would put that under staff, and sometimes I would, sometimes I won't. It's kind of a case-by-case basis, but it definitely factors into the value as well. If the staff had handled that poorly, they probably would have got penalized also, but really it just helped the staff and the value rating because I thought they handled it pretty well. So the value gets dinged a little bit just because it's a high price tag. That and the valet. The fact that I have to special request my car the night before for an early checkout is a huge inconvenience and not a normal one. So of course, with a high price tag, I'm definitely going to count that against you. Valet was also $37 additional a night. So definitely get out your credit cards when you stay here. Food I didn't mention, but I think the price tags were fairly decent. What you would normally pay for a downtown dinner. Nothing outrageous. So value-wise, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Not perfect, but not particularly bad either. Just popping in to give my current thoughts on the value of this hotel. I don't know if I stayed here right after payday or what was going through my head, but the value of this hotel is truly insane. I mean, I have paid significantly less for 4-star, 5-star resorts with bigger amenity lists, and I do think all of my points were valid that I made in this video, and I really did enjoy my stay, but the value just doesn't deserve 4 stars. I definitely tank that rating after further reflection to maybe a 2 out of 5. I mean, come on, that over $350 a night plus valet on top of that is really an insane price, especially midweek. I wasn't even staying on the weekend. Kind of crazy. Beautiful property though. Back to the video. That gives us a grand total overall of 30 out of 35. And I think that means that I would probably come back. I wouldn't come racing back to spend this kind of money. I think I would probably try some other historic hotels in the area. And I'll probably be back. Let me know where you think I should stay next. Until next time, dreamer. Bye.